Hi, welcome back. I'm Steve, and today I'm joined by Gordon Rainsford. He is the Chief TD, but he's also the current Chief Executive Officer of the EBU. Welcome, Gordon.
Hello, Steve. Thanks very much for inviting me.
No worries. So basically, I went to Eastbourne, and someone in one of the days in Eastbourne mentioned the Festival of Bridge, Bridge for All Festival of Bridge, something like that. That happened last week, I believe, and I know a bit about it. But if you have been inundated with things on your Facebook feed or emails from the EBU and you didn't know about it, Gordon's here to tell us all about what it is, what it involved, and it was something to do with raising money for charity as well. So I've seen a few things about festivals, so I have a rough idea of what's going on, Gordon. But for those people who haven't seen it, could you just sum it up for us?
Yes, the idea was to have a week-long festival that celebrates bridge, both within and outside our community. So it was something that celebrates bridge for people who already play bridge, but also something that might attract some other people to come along and find out a little bit more about bridge. And it involved both affiliated and non-affiliated clubs, and it also was outside of England. We cooperated a lot with the Scottish Bridge Union, who had their own events. They had a lot of things going on during the same week as us. The main thing was to kind of express the joy and excitement of our game. The idea came about a year ago, and it's taken about that long to get everything together and everything organised. Now, the original idea came from someone called Tony Russ, who had for a long time been a very active member of his county, and then he joined the board of the English Bridge Union. And he was a really good promoter of the game. He, in particular, cared a lot about club bridge and county bridge rather than high level bridge. Always keen to get people playing more. Now, sadly, Tony, during the arrangements for the festival, discovered that he was very ill himself. And as a slightly ironic thing, the thing that we had planned was to do this to raise money for Cancer Research UK. And he discovered, having not known before, that he had cancer, and sadly, he died a couple of months ago. So, for us, the festival, as well as having all these great joyous aspects to it, it also had a bit of sadness that Tony wasn't able to be here to see it. But I'm absolutely sure that he would have been delighted with how it's gone, how many people had got involved, and the way people have cooperated with each other as well. You know, affiliated and non-affiliated clubs, England and Scotland, all working together to produce something for the good of the game in total.
Yeah, that's lovely. I saw some of Sam Punch's things and I saw bits and bobs all over the country. And obviously, there's a web page kind of hosting it all together and collecting all the little bits and saying what events are happening when. Of the things that you saw, I mean, obviously, you wouldn't have had a chance to see everything, but was there anything that any clubs did that kind of stood out to you?
Well, there were lots of good ideas that people had. There were some people who played in a town hall, and that was organised by a group of players who were not terribly experienced, and I was very impressed by that. I'm told there were people who played on a canal boat. I saw photos of people playing in all kinds of places. Scotland, in particular, did a lot of photos on social media of people playing. I saw people playing in a bus shelter, on bridges, by bridges, that sort of thing. Then there were cafe bridge events. People may or may not know about them, where you go and you play a few hands in one venue and then you move around the town to a different cafe. And at some point, you have a meal in the middle of it. So it's a great thing, different people playing in different venues for every round.
That's
There were also, lots of other things happened, so I'll tell you all about them. The Crawley Bridge Club played in a garden centre. East Sussex had a 5-day bridgeathon in a hotel, playing different game every day. There were people from Worcester Bridge Club who were talking on BBC Radio Hereford and Worcester all about bridge. And somebody organised a bridge beginners course in the Ramsbury Memorial Hall.
Wow.
We also had our handicap pairs championship, which coincidentally was at the very beginning of the week. I must say that although it's been a week long, things have spilled over at either end, where lots of people did things a bit before and some are still coming on afterwards. It wasn't rigid, it didn't have to be exactly during the week, but that did give it a bit of a focus to it. So lots and lots of different things happening.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Obviously, if you are someone who has run an event, just linking into what Gordon said, he mentioned social media, and there is a place, and Gordon's about to say in the future. But if you have videos or pictures or anything like that, you could probably send them to EBU, and they'll get them involved in some big collaboration. And I think it's very important. All these things are getting bridge visit, playing in a town hall, playing in a garden centre, playing in a cafe, to get people who don't play bridge to ask questions and think, oh, that might be interesting. And so they're doing a great job. And obviously, if you've taken any media of things of that, either put them up on your own website or send them to EBU, and they can put them with everything else. There is a section on the EBU website, isn't there, called Bridge Festival for All or something?
Yes, there are actually two pages. One is the festival page, which was set up in advance of the festival, and that was where people said what they were planning to do. And then we had the festival hub, which recorded things that people had done. So when they did them, they sent us information, they sent us photos, they sent us results. And the hub has just been getting bigger and bigger. Every day, something gets added to the top of it. For more and more information. Then there's also Facebook pages. There's a Facebook page that is called Bridge It's a Big Deal Festival. And if you look on there, sign up to there, there's lots of things there. So definitely information there, both as to what was planned and to how it panned out when it actually happened. The final thing we had actually was last night. Well, I say final, but of course there will be people still running late events. But the end of the week, we had an event on Real Bridge, which was organised by us, the EBU, and we invited Andrew Robson and David Gold to come along and play together. I think everyone will know who they are. One of our top pairs who played in the team that qualified us for the Bermuda Bowl. And they came and played, and they showed us their class by winning the event, of course. But that was great because it meant that lots of people had the opportunity to play against them, but those who didn't still have the opportunity to compare their results with theirs. And being on Real Bridge, there's a great record of everything that happened. You can see all the bids that were made, all the plays that were made, so you can compare and see why they won and we didn't.
So you've been raising money for Cancer Research UK, or I think that's the charity, isn't
Yes,
it? Roughly,
it is. Yes.
obviously, with things still finishing off, do you have a rough current goal or expected goal that we're going to get to?
Yeah, our goal has always been £60,000, and we expect to get there or very close to it. Indeed, we're already significantly over £40,000, with lots of money still to come in, and including all the clubs who wanted to were allowed to divert their universal membership subscription, which is the fee they pay to the EBU every game they run. Instead of it coming to us, it will go to the charity. But of course, we won't know how much that is until after the end of the month. And Bridge Base Online allowed us our daily games. They allowed us to have one daily game every day of the week that they won't charge us for. So that will be more money that will be going in. So although we're well over £40,000 now, we do expect to be about the £60,000 by the time we've finished with
That's
everything.
That's brilliant. So obviously you know a lot more about this than me, and you're quite enthused at how it's gone and all the different things you've seen and all the different pictures and media you've done and all the events you've done. Is it something that's going to be happening again in the future?
Yes, we certainly expect it to and hope it will. Whether or not it's every year, I don't know. And I think a lot of that will depend on what the clubs tell us when we ask them how it was for them, whether they want to do it every year, because it's quite a lot of work. Certainly it was a lot of work for us in the office doing things that helped the clubs, but the clubs themselves have put a huge amount into it. And it may well be that they say, we couldn't put that much effort in every year, but we certainly expect there to be something next year. And of course, next year is the 100th anniversary of Contract Bridge. It's 100
Yeah.
years on 1st of November since Vanderbilt devised the scoring system of Contract Bridge. So we will certainly be doing something about that next year. Whether or not we'll have a festival, we will have one in future years, definitely. We've had such a good response to it.
And so, if someone like myself or any other clubs or individuals want to get involved in it, what would they need to do next time around?
Well, we will send something to all the clubs and say, "Are you interested?" In fact, we'll be hammering at home, sending them lots of times. So all you need to do is reply to that. But if you hear something but aren't actually contacted, Sam Kelly, who's our communications officer in the office, she's the person to contact, and her email is sam@ebu.co.uk. So getting in touch with her would be a good way of keeping abreast of it all.
All right, brilliant. So for all those links that Gordon mentioned in his chat and the email to Sam and everything like that, I'm just going to pop them underneath this video. So if you want to kind of have a look and browse through all the media coming in still, obviously some of the events haven't finished as we record this. But that's been really good. It's been really positive to see that. And it's really good that not just one person, but everyone's getting involved. And even if you're not involved in running it, you can still turn up to these events. So if they do one of these in the future, or there's still an event to be run near you, you've still got time to go along, play in it, and obviously your contribution will go to this fantastic charity. Thanks for joining me, Gordon. Is there anything else you'd like to add for it, or have we covered nearly everything?
I think we've covered almost everything, except that one other thing we did was that we had special playing cards printed with Bridget's a Big Deal on to make the event feel special in clubs. So they went out to all of our clubs who wanted them. And I think lots of people will have played with brand new cards. But of course, the cards will last for a long time still to come. They also have a QR code on them so that people who don't know anything about what it is will be able to find a link to our website and appropriate pages so they can find out a little bit more about the festival and about bridge if they don't know about bridge.
That is the main goal of this sort of thing, yeah. So getting people involved in
Absolutely.
playing, brilliant. Thanks for joining me, Gordon. Nice to see you again. I'm sure I'll see you at the next event I wander down to. But that's it for us now. So if you want to find out about it, follow the links on below. And if there's going to be one of these in the future, it looks like it's been a really big success. But if there's one of these in the future and you want to get involved, keep your eyes open, and maybe next year, in an anniversary one, you get to join in too. Anyway, that's been Gordon.
Thank you very much.
And I've been Steve, and I will see you in the next video.